Huge move out this morning, double top. I didn't want to short because the trend is so bullish. But I want to see how it essentially reacts to this level. Is it going to essentially bottom here, or is it going to continue lower and we get more downside? I think that's more of a move that I'm more interested in. I mean, on a 1 minute chart, these candlesticks are huge. So we've broken this downtrend. I don't know if it could be another downtrend right here. Trading a little longer than normal, but I'm kind of making a conscious decision that there is a lot of movement right now to continue trading. I think the NASDAQ and ES, I've you know, hindsight, it's like, oh, I wish I got in here, but there's just so much chop here. It just makes it more likely we come down here and, you know, have difficulty continuing lower. Now that could be totally false and we just continue lower. But I think I'd rather focus on gold here. I need more of a pullback though. It needs to come down to here. Essentially like retest this. I want to see it retest this. If it doesn't do that, then I'll get out. Or I'll be done for the day. Would I go long right here? It's a pullback. It would be nice to get a little bit more just to get a really good idea like, okay, it's faked lower. You know, make sure that this is failed. Because otherwise this could just be a continuation lower. You know, big picture could be it bounces here and it pushes lower. But I also don't think I can really wait for more confirmation. It's made a nice higher low off of this area I've looked for. It's a double bottom, head and shoulders, I mean, off of this previous high here. Nice bounce there, and then a bounce here. So that's pretty dang good structure. My kind of, the only thing is I feel like my intuition is kind of saying that this is, it's already had two big moves for the day. And so it might just kind of start to go a little sideways. Seems unlikely that it's going to continue up. But it's also hard to say when gold has just been so bullish. You know, these fair value gaps feel like good targets. Okay, just gonna be patient and see what happens. Overall setup is good. It just may take a while. Pretty scary spike there. Not really much I can do. Just letting things play out. You know, on a 15-minute, I think it's a good spot still. Just nervous about trade not working out just because I'm on a downswing. And, you know, maybe a little frustration over the fact that I kind of saw this short on the NASDAQ and ES and didn't take it because I was thinking that it would be tricky and unlikely to really play out. But it didn't really show what I wanted, you know. I don't really like slow reversals like that. They just don't work very well. I want to see more structure like this, like head and shoulders, clear moves. I find they're just more likely to work out. And so in hindsight, seeing it work sucks, but also it wasn't a trade I wanted. So accepting that and being happy about that. And I'm just nervous about this gold trade just because it is a little later than I normally take a trade, and it feels like it could just be getting choppy. But also, I'm just nervous because I'm scared about the outcome. You know, what if it loses here? But, you know, again, the reasons to get in were solid. And that's what I want to be focusing on, right? It's not about the trade outcome, it's about the process of executing when it's follows your strategy and pushing through that nervousness and emotion and not letting that control you. Man, this is a serious chop fest. I'm just trying to wait it out, watch for my phone. Looking at it, I mean, big picture, trying to be unbiased. Like, it just looks like it's just gonna, you know, it could just chop here, but it could just, you know, the trend could just grind it higher. So I'm not gonna go break even yet until it, you know, breaks out, I think, of this range it's in. My stop's in a good spot. Okay, that's a pretty nice breakout. At this point, I'm gonna move to break even. Because I think if it pulls back, you know, I wanna get out. It could, you know, it could totally come up here and slow down. Kind of what I'm looking at is, you know, it bouncing out these highs or this previous low being an issue. I'd love to get 3x, but you know, it might just take a while to get up there. It's got going, which is really nice, but it's not at a point where I want to take anything off yet. It's nice to be up money for once, having a trade actually work out. But you know, again, I'm looking for a larger move here. And I want to at least try and target 3x. Money wise, in terms of trying to like feel good content wise, it'd be nice to be hit over 5K. But again, I'm just gonna go with what the market's showing me. And right now I think it's at this spot where we might slow down. We might come down and bounce off this previous high and then continue higher. So just, you know, gonna keep waiting it out, you know. Stops in a good spot. And while we wait for this trade, I just want to let you know NinjaTrader is having something they call the NinjaTrader Arena Cup. There is $400,000 worth of money in the prize pool to get, and you can sign up with this link below, and it's 3 feeder tournaments with $50,000 prize pool each into a $250,000 prize pool. So there's multiple dates that you can participate and try and get into that huge $250,000 tournament. I'll leave a link below, or you can click on this QR code to join and find out more information. So we are definitely starting to get going here. I'm just trying to see if there's kind of an uptrend here. I mean, I think likely I'll probably just literally just get out of my limit order if we get up there, because looking at the highs, kind of just dragging both those over. Those are here. I mean, this is an insanely healthy trend if you think about it. You know, pullback, moved up, chopped for a long time, and then moved up. And if it's just gonna grind higher, I would love to stay in it. But also, trends like this can just have a snapback, and giving a lot of that up would suck. And so I'm just distracting myself. I'm literally downstairs taking apart my vacuum cleaner and just cleaning it out, you know, just doing something meticulous, and that just allows me to kind of sit in this trade and kind of let it do what it needs to do. If it breaks this down uptrend though, I don't think I'm going to get out just because of how healthy it is. I think it could totally just, you know, it could have a pullback to these highs right here, you know. Again, I think the big picture looks really good. If it starts to, you know, get something going in terms of changing what it's doing, then I'll maybe come back and think about getting out. But at the moment, you know, I think it looks solid to just keep grinding higher, and I'm happy to be in for that. Okay, this pullback definitely doesn't look great, but I need to see kind of what it does. I mean, it's just so unlikely that it just, you know, the fear is, oh, it just rips all the way down here. Unlikely, you know. It's more likely that I want to see how it hits this bottom, because, you know, again, looking on a 5 minute, it's just a slow chug higher. And so it's hard to not over manage in spots like this, or get scared by flushes like this when it could just, like it's doing right now, hopefully just pop right back up. I think if it makes a new high here though, I'll move my stop here. If it starts to go like this or something, I'm gonna stop here, something like that. Okay, there's another spike lower, hitting this low. That could be a break of this trend. Now, I need to see a couple candlesticks and see what it does. But I think at this point, I'll move my stop loss up to here at least. I would really be kind of upset to get out here. It's giving room to see if that spike gets reversed, but looks like it's not. Damn. I mean, that's just part of trading. It looks so close to getting like a really big win. But, you know, getting out here still, I was happy with how I traded. I think I stayed in it. You know, getting it out somewhere up here would have just been, I think, kind of, I don't know, more emotional, and just because the trend was still in play. There was no reason to get out based on the charts until now. So still a nice trade. Nice to get something in the books, but bummer that, you know, to get knocked out here, because part of me is like, oh, it looks like it could just knock out and then reverse, but you know, that's the signal I'm going with, and I'm gonna call it a day on that.